All right, we're back now, and we're ready to take on some history here with History Strikes Back. Today is March 9th, 2014, and some of the events from March 9th. I have Pancho Villa's raid from 1916. I have the firebombing of Tokyo from date is missing, and then there's the seizure of Veracruz, which I think was from 1865. Firebombing of Tokyo. You want to take a guess when that was? 37.
Was firebombing that wasn't World War II?
Was it World War II, or was it with their fight with China?
Why are you asking me?
Why?
I know it wasn't one of the cities that was bombed in World War II.
Okay, well,
that was Hiroshima and Nagasaki.
Well, yeah, but this is a firebombing, so it's a little different from a nuke bombing.
Okay, tell you what, I'll look it up.
And I know we sent planes and stuff. We dropped like 100,000 pounds worth of bombs on. I mean, what was
Japan? What was it about? Was it a war, or were we just trying to make a point?
That's all I have written here is firebombing of Tokyo.
Well, I've got March 9th, 1945.
Okay. All right. Well, that must have been the 100,000 pounds of bombs that I was just talking about. Yeah. 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 Can you imagine if we didn't have nukes, how long that war would go on?
Firebombing, like we dropped fire?
They didn't want to give it up. Well, that's a term for...
dropping 2,000 tons of incendiary bombs on Tokyo. Did I pronounce that right? Incendiary bombs?
You pronounced Tokyo right, yes. Yes, that's correct.
Thank you. Over the course of the next 48 hours, almost 16 square miles in and around the Japanese capital were incinerated, and between 80,000 and 130,000 Japanese civilians were killed in the worst single firestorm in recorded history.
Yeah, and they still didn't give up. So.
Oh, they didn't give up after that?
They didn't give up after that. No, they gave up after
Nagasaki and Hiroshima.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's well, actually, they gave up when we said we blew up 2 of your towns, and we have it. What they had it in the plans to do 2 more. Mm-hmm. It's like either give up or we keep bombing 2 more of your large cities.
Yeah. From historyorb.com, March 9th, there's some things listed here. I've got 141 BC. Liu Che, posthumously known as Emperor Wu of Han, assumes the throne over the Han dynasty of China. Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yeah. In 1562, kissing in public was banned in Naples, Italy, I'm assuming.
Kissington what?
Kissing in public was banned.
In Italy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and you can see that one has been definitely... Well,
yeah.
Those people ain't modest over there.
Yeah, I believe this was one that was punishable by death.
Really?
There was a kissing or a public display of affection ban in some city that was, yes, it says right here, punishable by death. And I read up on it, and that confirmed that. Yes, it's because of the plague.
Oh,
see,
okay.
This is what happens when politicians,
well, they didn't know what was going on at the time.
They think that they know what's best for us.
So when they found out it was the rats, did they lift the ban? Or did they change it to... Oh.
Whoa.
Once again, I have stumbled into my own trap, haven't I?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you never know. I mean, the Pope, might have had some influence and said, hey, I kind of like this band. This is working out for me. Mm-hmm. I don't have to watch other people doing it. In 1566, David Rizzio says the private secretary to Mary I of Scotland is murdered in the palace of Holyrood. In Holyrood.
Oh, Holyrood.
Holyrood House in Edinburgh, Scotland.
I never go to Scotland.
That's the worst Scottish accent I think I've ever heard.
Well, it wasn't a Scottish accent.
What was that supposed to be?
It's a Japanese accent trying to sound Scottish. Oh, you need to practice more. Because I don't believe you can do it.
He's got you there, Hank. Definitely got you there.
And I do believe that Mary I of Scotland Oh, now wait a minute. There's a Mary Queen of Scots, and it's not the same as Bloody Mary. I believe Mary the First was the Bloody Mary.
I think you're right.
Yes. What else we have here? In 1776, the publication of the economics book, The Wealth of Nations by Adam Smith. Very, very good book. Very good. I liked it better than Das Kapital. That's for sure. It had a lot more action in it.
Oh, okay. Cool. But the one question is: was Bloody Mary? Was she English?
She was Scottish, and at the time it was something different.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought maybe.
Yeah, she's the one that there's like a legend. Like if you look in a mirror and do something. Y'all haven't heard about that?
Oh, me personally, no.
Oh, okay.
I thought that maybe.
Well, you didn't have any mirrors on the island, so.
No.
Okay.
No. But I thought that maybe they say Bloody Mary because I thought maybe somebody from England was mad at Mary, so he said, "Oh, Bloody Mary," or something. I don't know.
And then they named a drink after her.
Yes, well, that's
That's I don't drink that. Sorry, I stick with the sake.
There you go. Sake.
there you go.
Sake to me. Whoa.
Oh, is that why they named it that?
That's exactly why they named it that.
They're going to suck it to you.
In 1862, the Monitor and the Merrimack battled in Hampton Roads, which I don't really understand Hampton Roads because those were two submarines. So how do two submarines battle in a road? Any takers on that? No? Don't know? Y'all are stunned.
Oh,
I stumped you.
No idea. No bloody idea.
I don't know either. I didn't have time to research that one. And one thing I did research, though, was from 1893, at least per HistoryOrb.com, it says Congo cannibals killed thousands of Arabs. And, you know, I looked this up, and I found like 2 or 3 different things in here about the Congo and cannibalism. And I tried to find things that were relevant to this particular line about, there being Arabs that were killed. The one thing I did find, though, I don't know how relevant it is. It says, this is from Troubled Heart of Africa, The History of the Congo. And I'm such a dork. I didn't write down the author's name.
That would be helpful.
Trust me, somebody wrote it. It says
What's the name of it again?
Troubled Heart of Africa, History of the Congo.
I could probably find it.
Okay, yeah. In some Congolese societies, people ate human flesh only occasionally, to mark a particularly significant ritual occasion. But in other societies in the Congo, perhaps even a majority by the late 19th century, people ate human flesh whenever they could, saying that it was far tastier than other meat, and perhaps surprisingly that male human flesh tasted better than female.
Ew.
Persons to be eaten often had both of their arms and legs broken and were made to sit up to their necks in a stream for 3 days, a practice said to make their flesh more tender, before they were killed and cooked. Teeth filed to sharp points were widely thought by Europeans to be the mark of cannibals, but in some societies whose people actually were cannibals, teeth were not filed at all, and in others, I'm glad this is being cleared up for us, and in others that did not practice cannibalism, some people nevertheless filed their teeth to sharp points. As Sidney L. Hindi noted during the Arab War, the Bateltala were such devoted cannibals that children actually killed and ate their parents at the first sign of their decrepitude, but they did not file their teeth. That's the important thing to remember, is that they did not file their teeth. We have to get that clarified regarding cannibals.
Ew, that's gross. The author of the book was Robert Edgerton.
Okay.
Edgerton.
Okay. All right.
Robert Edgerton. And that was just gross.
Yeah, wasn't that something?
Just the same. That is messed up.
Thank you. Yes, that is messed up.
I'd be willing to bet that they don't have to put the salt on the skin because if you eat the skin, it tastes salty anyway. So why would you want to add the salt?
Well, and then you got the aspect of shredded wheat because of all the hair.
Oh, that's a horrible.
Well, there were a couple of Japanese imperial generals that did practice cannibalism.
Really?
But me no. But,
Not yet.
Others, yes.
Oh, you were lower ranking, so that
but
wasn't.
I don't have chance to do that. But,
yeah.
I would not. I would not want a chance to do that anyway.
Good. I'm glad.
Okay. Going back to the submarine thing, what was that? Something about submarine? Or,
the Monitor and the Merrimack battled in Hampton Roads. I don't know. Maybe road is an archaic term for
Battle
water?
of Hampton Roads.
Yeah.
Okay.
In 1895, no, I'm not going to read that. In 1916, Pancho Villa, we mentioned that. In 1932, I did this sloppy circling thing. Former Chinese Emperor Henry Pu installed as head of Manchuria.
I guess so. I know he no take a bath in 2 months, so that's why he have a stupid last name. He deserve that. My goodness. Oh.
In 1945, over here, this explains it. 334 U.S. B-29 superfortresses attacked Tokyo with 100. This is where I got the number. 112. Well, I was 20,000 pounds off, but 120,000 fire bombs. Yeah, that's been verified now. Trust but verify. In 1961. We have the Supremes release I Want a Guy and Never Again. In 1980, the Flemish and Walloon battles in Belgium, 40 were injured. This is 1980. I had no idea that the Flemish and Walloons were still fighting in 1980.
I had no idea they existed.
I never heard, so I had no idea about that.
Yeah.
The Flemish and the Walloons were fighting.
Yeah, Flemish and Walloon.
Walloons.
Yes.
Flemish and Walloon. Oh, my gosh.
That's
a mouthful.
That's what I was aiming for there.
Oh, thank you, man.
Isn't that tacky?
Domo arigato. Yes.
Okay. Well, that about sums up.
Battle of Hampton Roads.
Oh, yes, thank you.
Often referred to as either, now this is from Wikipedia, often referred to as either, because it was the first one I found, as either the Battle of the Monitor and Merrimack, or Virginia, or the Battle of Ironclads, was the most noted and arguably most important naval battle of the American Civil War from the standpoint of the development of navies. Fought over 2 days, March 8th through the 9th in 1862 in Hampton Roads, a roadstead in Virginia where the Elizabeth and Nansemond rivers met the James River before it enters Chesapeake Bay adjacent to the city of Norfolk. I may have to type that later.
So they didn't fight in the road?
No. It was the Hampton Roads was a roadstead where a bunch of bodies of water met.
Oh, I see. I didn't. Wow. I'm like English major. I'd never heard that term before. Roadstead. That's fascinating.
Right. Yeah. Okay. You got one on me. Yeah. I'm just glad they gave the long explanation.
Why didn't they call it a streamstead instead of a?
In Wikipedia, they called it a roadstead.
Yeah, okay. All right.
Major significance was that it was the first meeting in combat of ironclad warships.
All right. Excellent.